Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Tortoise. It's the Tier 9 British tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Steps Encounter, and this one is under the command of stickynblue of No Retreat, No Surrender. Let's see how he gets on in this game. Unfortunately, yes, it's Chuck Norris is the commander, and between him and Arty, I don't know which is the more annoying of the commanders, but I think Chuck gets it by a wide mile. Anyway, what can I tell you about the Tortoise? Well, it was a design started in 1943 to try and destroy the Siegfried line. By the time they'd actually approved the first of the series of 18 designs, that was the AT-16, they actually had already breached the Siegfried line and they didn't need it. They went on to design this design, which was A39, and that became known as the Tortoise. And they did build some examples, and there is one in the Tank Museum down in Bovingdon. Now in the game, you can actually have a 32-pounder, a 20-pounder, or the 120mm. It's the 120mm that is absolutely phenomenally powerful. I got tracked there by the Object 752, but here comes a TNH, and these guys are going to find it very difficult. If he managed to get a pen on us, he went for the cupola, which is the weak spot, but the armor on this thing is incredibly strong, 273.1mm thick, and you're not likely to penetrate it with anything except premium rounds. Now, standard, the gun is a 120mm, 400 alpha, 259mm pen, and the 53 TP goes down, just one shot. Of course, he'd already taken one round from us earlier in the game, actually. Who's next? Here comes. Yeah, this 752 thinks that he can get behind us and shoot into our weak rear, but he's not going to be able to. Look at stickynblue, keeps him front to the vehicle and just punches these rounds in. Oh, that one hit the gun and he gets the kill. That was very calm, that was. He managed to dispose of that enemy just like that. There goes another one. The TNH 105-1000, that's his third kill. Now he's destroying the Conqueror. These ones are going through that lower plate like, well, a knife through butter. And now he has 4 kills. Now he has to deal with these guys to the right because he's got a Type 57 there. And there's also a G-Saw. So he can't leave those alone. He has to deal with them. The Progetto takes a hit. But I think that G-Saw is going to take a big hit here. He's going to go down. Yep, that's his 5th kill. We're ignoring the capping at the moment because it takes twice as long to cap, but we've got guys up there to get resets. Type 57's next. Well, one shell. Oh! He took a big hit there from the Scorpion G, who managed to get a shell. I think it went through the cupola. I think it did, but you can see there's a lot of damage on this vehicle. But yes, actually it may have been the cupola or it may have been the side of the vehicle. But yeah, he took one huge hit for 555, and now he's got to deal with that Scorpion. One straight through the gun shield. And there you go, there's the kill shot. That's kill number 7. Now he's up against the Tortoise. This is going to be difficult because they both got the same conditions, except that Tortoise got 100% of his health. Well, we've got a Charioteer trying to shoot into our side, and the enemy Tortoise fires into our cupola. But of course, even though we're tracked, we're going to be able to get moving again. And even though we're tracked again, we put one round into the Charioteer, and the Tortoise goes down to our TS5. I do wish Chuck Norris would shut up sometimes. You know, if you could have an off button for Chuck Norris, that would be really good. Okay, well, the Charioteer's going to try and run away now. Not going to help him. And that's a Radley Walters, and potentially a high caliber as well. Say the enemy's capping, and even though they keep getting close to capping out, it's not going to help them. They've got 5 left, and they're facing 9 on our team. It takes us a little while to get there because this is one of the slowest tanks in the game. 20 kilometers an hour maximum speed, but it is a very heavy tank indeed. It's 81 tons, and it kind of makes you question and say, well, how would they get this one to cross rivers? The same with some of the German super heavies. You've got to ask yourself, did they actually have bridges capable of allowing vehicles like this to move between various different river valleys? And the answer is no. Oh, what a lovely shot. Right into the rear. Kampfpanzer 7 RH goes down just like that. And there's only 3 enemies left now. He could get a Pools medal. It's on if he can get close enough to plonk around into one of them. Oh, we're starting to lose a few of our teammates. We're down to just 5 left on our team against 3 enemies. They've managed to whittle down some of our weaker ones. And, oh, we lost the pattern as well. So now it's 4 versus 3. But I'm afraid they're facing some of the strongest ones on the team now. And this is where things get really difficult for them because they've got to face a Progetto who's very weak. But there's also a Peregrine and a TS5 as well. And of course, Sticky and Blue in the Tortoise, who still has a sizable amount of hit points and can literally tear his way through them. Here they go. We're all going in. They're all in the cap at the same time, desperately trying to cap out, but they know it's not possible. There's an E-Fumpsieg in there as well, and an FV4202. The Fumpsieg goes down. The Sharpview GeForce is trying to run away. He's firing as he goes. There's one round in. He's now one shot. We can get the kill. If only we can get close enough. Oh, and we lose the TS5, but the Sharpview GeForce goes down to the Peregrine. Wow. Well, the Tortoise may be slow, but it always gets there in the end. That was an ace tanker for Sticky and Blue in the Tortoise. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 5 exactly. He got a Hand of God for surviving the battle and received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks or more. Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him. Fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of your own vehicle and surviving. He got the Radley Walters, a 9-kill game. He could have had 10 if he'd taken out that Sharpview GeForce, but the Peregrine was insistent on taking it for himself. And on top of that, he got the Steel Wall for blocking the most damage in the game. At least 11 hits, over 1,000 hit points, the most number of hits. High caliber for dealing the most damage, and a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. Oh, what a game that was there. 9 kills for Sticky and Blue. Let's have a look at team score. Well, definitely got the highest damage in the game, 5,411. The nearest to him was that Sharpview GeForce. He got 4,251. And the third highest, well, that goes to the E-Fumpsieg on the enemy team, who managed 3,980. When it came to kills, nobody could beat him. 9 kills in that game. That's actually 3/5 of the enemy team. 4 kills went to the Sharpview GeForce, 2 kills went to the E-Fumpsieg, the Kampfpanzer, and on his own team, the Peregrine and the TS5. And when it came to base XP, well, look at this. 3 players went over 1,000 base in the game. It was Sticky and Blue first with 1,572, which shows the extent of the fact that he was the principal player in the game. TS5 managed 1,345, and he was very helpful because he took out the enemy Tortoise, and 1,119 went to the Peregrine, who was the one to get the last kill in the game. He fired only 19 rounds in the game. He had plenty of ammunition to play with. 50 rounds this thing carries. 17 direct hits and 17 penetrations. That gun literally carves through the enemy, especially when you use the premium ammo. But he didn't use the premium ammo all the time because you don't have to in the Tortoise. 5,411 hit points of damage, of which 112 were at more than 300 meters. 17 hits received from the enemy, only 4 of which actually penetrated. The biggest one, of course, was the one from the Scorpion, who did go through the loader's cupola, which is the weak spot on this vehicle from the front. And he managed to get 555 hit points of damage from that one single shot alone, which is a high roll for him. 4 penetrations, 13 non-penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash. It's lucky there was no Arty in the game. If there had been Arty in the game, I think that might have been a bit of a problem, because Arty is one of the things that can slow down a Tortoise. It doesn't stop them, but it can cause them great inconvenience so that others can get behind him and start firing rounds into his rear. But on this occasion, there wasn't any Arty to stop them, and therefore he was able to keep going until eventually he got to the cap. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 9 killed, 527 hit points of damage resistance. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 25,943 credits from that game. He did have a fairly big ammunition cost, but he didn't use premium all the time. And he took away 2,358 experience points out of it as well. Just goes to show, if the Tortoise is played right, you can get enormous scores and huge amounts of profit out of it. And yes, this was played right by stickynblue. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more Pools Medal winning games from this player, because I think you're going, once he's got to that standard where he can just literally carve his way through them one after the other, especially after you saw that that moment when the enemy 752 came alongside him to try and take him out. And he just dealt with it very calmly, kept his front to the enemy, and then punched those shells right into him until the 752 expired. Very nice game indeed. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below so it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.